It's a quiet March evening in New Mexico, 1999. The streets are still. The desert air is cold. Suddenly, a woman stumbles out onto the road. She is naked, bleeding, her wrists chained, her body covered in bruises. She collapses, screaming for help. A driver slams the brakes. Police are called. And when officers arrive, they realize she is not just a victim. She is the key to unlocking one of the darkest crime scenes America has ever known. The woman is Cynthia Vigil, and the nightmare she escaped from was a place locals would later call the Toy Box. Cynthia's body told the story before her mouth could. Shackles clinked against the asphalt as she begged for help. When questioned, she revealed she had been held prisoner inside a trailer. Not just any trailer, a chamber of horrors hidden in the desert. That night, officers followed her trembling directions, and what they uncovered would haunt them forever. The trailer looked ordinary from the outside, sitting quietly in Elephant Butte, New Mexico. But when police opened the door, they stepped into hell. Chains hung from the ceiling. Surgical tools lined the walls. Whips, clamps, saws, gags, and electrical devices were neatly arranged as if part of a twisted museum. A large chair, similar to what you'd see in a gynecologist's office, sat at the center, fitted with restraints for arms, legs, and even the head. And above it, a mirror. Victims weren't just tortured, they were forced to watch. But the most chilling discovery was a cassette tape. A recording that David Parker Ray played for every victim. His voice, calm and emotionless, explaining in detail what they would endure. It wasn't just physical torture, it was psychological destruction. So, who was the man behind this nightmare? David Parker Ray was born in 1939. By all appearances, he was an average mechanic, a quiet resident of Elephant Butte. But beneath the surface, his life had been shaped by twisted fantasies since he was a teenager. He collected sadomasochistic pornography, experimented with bondage devices, and dreamed of creating a chamber of pain. Over decades, he turned that dream into reality, constructing the Toy Box. And like a hunter, he waited for his prey. Ray wasn't alone. His girlfriend, Hendy, and even his daughter, Jessie Ray, helped lure victims. They played roles in his sick operation, offering false kindness, drugging women, and handing them over to Ray. Cindy would later confess she stayed because she enjoyed the power. Jessie claimed she was manipulated by her father. Either way, together they formed a small circle of terror. Authorities believe Ray may have taken as many as 60 women. Many disappeared without a trace. The desert of New Mexico is vast, endless stretches of sand and stone. If Ray buried his victims there, their bodies may never be found. Some women survived long enough to testify. They described being drugged, strapped to the chair, and tortured for days. Some were eventually released, confused and broken, dropped on highways with no memory of where they had been. Others never came home. Cynthia Vigil's story was different. She had been kidnapped, drugged, and brought to the Toy Box. For days, she endured horrors beyond imagination. But when Hendy made the mistake of leaving keys within reach, Cynthia seized her only chance. She fought back, stabbed Hendy with an ice pick, and escaped. Running through the streets, half-naked and shackled, she found the courage to keep going until she reached help. Her escape exposed David Parker Ray to the world. When police raided the Toy Box, the nightmare was undeniable. Evidence was everywhere: photographs, journals, torture devices. The journals hinted at decades of crimes. And then the tape. A recording so disturbing that even hardened FBI agents admitted they could not sleep after hearing it. On the tape, Ray described exactly how he would treat his victims, step by step, as if reading instructions. There was no question anymore. The Toy Box killer was real. Ray was arrested and charged with kidnapping and torture. His accomplices, Hendy and Jessie Ray, were also brought to trial. Survivors testified against him, their voices shaking as they recounted the horrors they endured. Hendy made a plea deal, testifying in exchange for a lighter sentence. Ray himself never confessed to murder, but investigators believe he killed dozens. Without bodies, prosecutors could not prove it. Still, he was sentenced to 224 years in prison. But justice was short-lived. In 2002, just 3 years into his sentence, David Parker Ray died of a heart attack. He went to his grave with his secrets, the locations of the missing, the number of lives he took. To this day, families wonder if their missing daughters were among his victims. The desert around Elephant Butte may still hide their remains, silent graves under the scorching sun. The toy box was dismantled, destroyed piece by piece, but the memory remains, a chilling reminder of how far human evil can go when hidden in plain sight. A woman running through the streets saved countless lives. If not for Cynthia Vigil's escape, the toy box killer might never have been found. Yet the full truth, the number of women lost, the suffering endured, will forever remain buried in the silence of the desert. And perhaps that is the scariest part of all, that evil can exist behind an ordinary door until one victim finally breaks free.